All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about a superstar quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who found himself in the middle of a media storm just days before the biggest game of his season. This is a story all about pressure, reputation, and how a top athlete answers back when their dedication gets called into question. So you gotta ask yourself, right? When everything is on the line and the headlines are filled with criticism, how does a guy like Lamar Jackson respond? Does he just try to ignore it? Or does he face it head on? Well, let's break down exactly how this all played out. And look, the timing on this, it couldn't be worse. I mean, we're not talking about some random mid-season game. This is right before a winner-take-all showdown. A report drops, and all of a sudden, the conversation isn't just about football anymore. It's about his character. Now, this wasn't just some vague, he's not playing well kind of talk. No. This was a published column that laid out some pretty serious and specific claims, and they were aimed right at the heart of his professionalism and his relationship with the team. And when I say specific, I mean really specific. The report claimed his own coach, John Harbaugh, was tired of him, that he was allegedly falling asleep in team meetings, that he had a reputation for late-night video gaming, and then the real bombshell, that he might actually want to play for a different team. I mean, for a franchise quarterback, those are career-defining claims.
So what do you think happened? Of course, Lamar wasn't just going to sit there and take it. He stepped right up to that podium and decided to address what he calls the noise, taking on each claim one by one.
First up, this idea that he wants to leave Baltimore. When the question came, his answer was just, bam, absolutely, over and over again. He completely shut it down, basically saying, I have no idea where you guys are even getting this from. And that whole falling asleep in meetings thing, he kind of flips it back on them with a question. He's like, seriously? Do you really think Coach Harbaugh would let me fall asleep in a meeting? I sit right in the front. It's his way of saying not just that it's false, but that the idea itself is completely crazy.
He tackles the video game rumor, too. He makes it super clear that he is not up at 1 or 2 in the morning playing games, not even in the off-season. So you see what he's doing here, right? He's just systematically knocking down every single one of these accusations about his character. Okay, so he's addressed the character stuff, but that wasn't the only noise out there. A huge part of the criticism was about him missing the last game with a back injury. You had people out there questioning his toughness. And this is where his response gets really human. He pushes back on this idea that he's some kind of robot that can just power through any injury. He's reminding everyone, hey, I'm a human being. He got hurt, and it was just one of those things he couldn't avoid. So why is all of this blowing up right now? What makes this more than just typical sports drama? Well, it's because all this personal drama is unfolding against the backdrop of an insanely high-stakes moment. The entire season is literally on the line. I mean, check this out. It's a showdown against their arch rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. The Ravens are 8-8, the Steelers are 9-7. The math is easy. The winner becomes the AFC North champion and moves on to the playoffs. The loser? Well, their season is over. That is the pressure cooker this is all happening in. So at the end of the day, for Lamar, talking to the media is one thing, but he knows that's not where this debate is really going to be settled. The real answer, the only answer that matters, has to come on the football field. And man, this quote he gave just sums up his whole philosophy on this perfectly. He basically says, when you're winning, there's no noise. It's quiet. But as soon as you lose, boom, all this talk just comes out of nowhere. For him, it's just how the game works, and the only way to turn the volume down is to win. So here we are. After all the reports, all the questions, all his direct denials, it all comes down to this. The talking is done. The ultimate answer to every question about his commitment, his leadership, and his value is going to be delivered in that do-or-die game. The only question left for us is, what will that answer be?